disrupt you, Dr. Glass, from socializing.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all for coming tonight. Oh, excuse me, before I get recommended, I have to talk into the microphone. Can everybody hear me? What? Can the secretary hear me? I guess not. It's here, listen.
Pardon?
Okay, just go with it, all right? If you can't hear me, somebody raise their hand and do something. Here, let me get to the end of the meeting. Hi. All right. Roll call, Kat.
Yes. Alberts.
I'm here.
Hooper. Here. Ferguson.
Here.
Lusky Latin.
Here.
Foley. Janelli. Petrina.
Here.
Petrofessa.
Present.
Capersap.
Here.
Tranzilla. Here. 2 absent.
Both of them are called with their excuse.
Thank you.
All right. We have a recognition, and it's the majority of the reason people are honoring us from this tonight. And it's something that I don't get excited about, but I got really excited when the letter started and the announcement started. To be associated with the district with a school receiving an award like this, I have to read it, so I can say it all properly. Denver Board of Education Award for Achievement was presented to the Western Connecticut Academy of International Studies in recognition of being named the Elementary School of the Year for 2014 to 2015 by the Connecticut Association of Schools. Dear God, thank you very much. I'm not being disrespectful, and Helena knows that I'm not disrespectful. This award is not just for her. This award is for all the teachers in this room and the parents that are in this room, because it truly is a collaborative way the school functions. And as I said, I couldn't be prouder than I am right now to be associated with the district that would house a school that would win this award because of the collaboration that takes place there. And I see it happening, I'm sorry, but I see it happening all over our district, in many pockets. Hopefully, we honor roll, guys, okay? Thank you so very much.
Could you just tell the board the process, please, and the visit? I think they should hear.
I'm sorry, you thought you were just going to sit down and...
Darn.
Did you get all some ice cream or something? He looks nervous.
Well, actually, it was an arduous process, but what happens is there are, as an application portion that needs to be filled out, and so what we did at the school was we created a Google Doc, and we put the questions into that Google Doc, and actually these people here populated the information into that Google Doc, which we then put into a narrative and submitted. And I received information that we were one of 2 finalists in Connecticut and that they were doing the site visit. And the site visit had very specific requirements. So we had to assemble a team of parents, which we sent out to all our parents, anyone who was interested in being part of the panel. We then sent out to teachers, anyone who might be interested in being part of the panel. And we had a student panel as well, and myself and Dr. Sal were the administrative team. So they met with each of the panels. They wanted a tour of the school. They did look for document verification and review of everything that we had put in our application. And then they provided feedback to their visit. And then I received the notification that we had been chosen as elementary school here. So I do want to just, as a plug for this, is that one of the things that they said to me as the administrator was that they asked each of the panels to answer one question that was the same, and it was if you could only use 5 single words to describe your school, what would they be, with no explanation of what that word meant. Mm-hmm. And they were very impressed with the overlap of words such as safe, kind, welcoming, community. And so that, as an administrator, was probably the most powerful part of the process, mm-hmm. to see that all the stakeholders had a similar view of the school. So,
and the comment made about the parent group that brought you to tears?
Yeah, it did. The parent group brought me to tears when she said they asked, what could the school do more, and they said nothing.
Oh my God.
So we did.
I know a lot of those parents. I know a lot of those parents, okay, and those parents are pretty picky. So, it's a good thing.
She means interested. Interested. But she's being a little modest. The school that you competed against was a baccalaureate school of international studies, which comes with a prescriptive program, an outstanding program. It was up in the Hartford area. And I think for the staff here, this was an organic program. You put it together, you built it, this is your, and that's what really impressed the folks. It's not that they just took a canned program, and the baccalaureate is not just canned, you gotta personalize it. But it is, it comes within 4 squares. You developed it, you made it happen, you made it special, you've been here since the beginning. There wasn't any way you were gonna win that. You deserved it in a lot of ways. And you know, as you told me, we won whether we don't get the nomination or not. And you really, truly have been just a special person, leader in the building. And the staff, the rest of the staff, all look up to that staff. So I congratulate all of you. Thank you for coming tonight.
Thank you so much.
Really very thoughtful and nice for our wonderful.
Would you like to take the cake?
Everybody's
on Italian tonight. Not tomorrow.
We've already said you take the cake, so please do take the cake.
Great, okay, thank you.
Thank you. Before you guys all go, we can just all be silent for a few moments in memory of James McGowan. You want to say something?
James McGowan was the second grade student at Edinburgh who passed away suddenly yesterday morning.
Thank you very much. And now go home, because you can, okay? Some of us get to stay. Shucks. No joking, thank you. Thank you again, everybody. Thank you, bye-bye, everybody. Now it's time for public participation. The board welcomes public participation and asks that speakers please limit their comments to 3 minutes. Speakers may offer objective comments of school operations and programs that concern them. The board will not permit any expression of personal complaints or defamatory comments about the Board of Education personnel and students, nor against any person connected with the Denver public school system. That includes me. So, we only have one person that signed up.
I did not sign up, I'm sorry, but I would like to speak.
Certainly. Okay, after Ms. Riddle. All right, not a problem.
Hello,
Thanks,
everyone. I'm Ann Riddle. I'm a teacher in Danbury. And I just wanted to invite everyone here, all the people who are interested in education, to an event that's been put together by the parents of citywide PTO and teachers of NEA Danbury. We've invited all the candidates of our area to a forum to talk about education. It's next Wednesday, October 15th at Broadview. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Ann. I'm coming.
Thank you.
All right, I encourage you to read it. All right, I'm sorry, could you come on up and sit down and sign in, please?
Okay, my name is Kristen Sawmill, and I apologize because I do not speak in French. I'm upset because I stumbled upon a video of my son posted by the school on YouTube without my permission. Now, I have my signed form from the principal. It was signed in April of 2011. So I did look online, and some of the stuff is a little bit different, but nowhere in this does it give permission for my child's video to be posted on YouTube or video to be posted, period. Again, it may have changed because this is dated 2011. Needless to say, I was very upset. Not only did it tell anyone who wanted to know what his name was, but it also said that he could be found at AIS. I was livid. I did get a good response. I sent the email out. Of course, I found it on a Friday night, so you can just imagine how I felt all weekend. It was removed Saturday morning. Thank you very much. But I was told by the principal that, the parents were notified, that parents knew that this was something that the schools were doing. I wasn't notified. Yes, I am not the most involved parent, but I do volunteer in school. I am in there on a regular basis, not every day, but I do help the teachers. I've gone on field trips, done JA. So I considered myself fairly in touch, as much as a working mom can be. I apologize that this is my first Board of Ed meeting, but again, I work, so I use my evenings to be with my kids. I just feel as though there should be a better policy in place, that parents should be notified. Children's names should not be used, and it should not be publicized where they could be found. If you are going to use a child's name, don't say what school they're at. There's programs like Vimeo, which I think they emailed to some of you, where granted, nothing on the internet is 100% safe and secure. Even after deleted, it always leaves a footprint. But at least with this other program, and there are other programs like it, it's password protected. So what the schools could do is, set up a program. I know it's a lot of work, and I know teachers have a lot on their plates, but even if you gave everyone in that school a password every September, and every September did it, we did one password, that at least would only be the school community that gets to view those videos. It would make it a little bit harder for predators and other people, in different parts of the country to locate our children. I felt very violated. I felt that my son's security and everyone at the school's security was put at risk. I have spoken with many parents in the district, granted not at my son's school, but just different parents at different Danbury public schools who were unaware that YouTube is being used and felt the same way as I did. They would not want their child on YouTube. They would not want their child's name out there. I'm sorry, like I said, this is not. So basically what I'm asking for is a policy change. I'm looking for some review here. I do think it should be known. I think parents should know if you plan on continuing to use YouTube to host videos. I do suggest that you put it out there to parents so that they're aware, so that they can make a better decision. This form here says picture, work, and child's first name. Nowhere does it say video. Nowhere. Again, that may have changed because this was signed in 2011. Again, YouTube isn't, even if it did say video, I would have never in a million years thought it would be on YouTube. I was told by the principal that it was only accessible through the AIS website, which again is open to the public. Granted, you may not just go there. However, I was able to get into it through YouTube, not going onto the link. So I do disagree with, her saying, no, it's secure, you can only get on it through the link on our website, because that's not the case. So again, I just wanted to be heard, and I know I was told it would be followed through on, but I just felt as though I should make it noted formally.
Thank you. Thank you very much for being for us. Thank you, we know it's hard. Is there anyone else in the audience that would like to speak? Is there anyone else in the audience that would like to speak? One more time. Is there anyone else in the audience that would like to speak? Okay, thank you very much. Okay, moving on to the consent calendar, Jen.
That the Board of Education approve the items on the consent calendar, exhibits 14-183 through 14-191 as recommended.
Second. Do I hear a second?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Second, is there any discussion or questions? No, seeing none, by minds. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Are there any objections? All right, thank you. Moving on, do we have an employee representative in the audience? No, seeing none, moving on to the student representatives. I have those, I see them, and they have their seats. And that makes me happy. Could you introduce yourselves, then?
Hi, my name is Jamie Gruna. I'm the BOE president at Danbury High School. This is Sophia Pompilio, and Ed and Coco are other student representatives.
Okay.
Our ESL bilingual night was this past Monday. It was successful, and the parents who attended were able to get school information as well as information to support throughout the community, such as adult education and the Hispanic Center. This Tuesday will begin our Spirit Week. On Tuesday will be America Day. And on Wednesday will be Twin Day, except for our seniors. Seniors will be dressing in all black and take their senior picture that day. This will also be measured for caps and gowns, and sophomores and juniors will take the PSATs. Celebrate My Drive is also kicking off once again, and it will begin on that Wednesday. Remember to vote at celebratemydrive.com. On Thursday is Character Day. And Friday is Orange and Blue Day. And that afternoon into the night will be our homecoming bonfire. On Saturday the 18th is our homecoming. The football game will start at 1 and it is a masquerade ball themed dance. It will start at 7:30 and end at 11. On October 20th is our annual college fair in the mall starting at 6. The SATs will be this Saturday and the ACT testing will be on the 25th. October is a very busy month for us, but we sure hope to enjoy it.
Thank you very much. That was very nice. Did you have anything to say, or is she just here?
No, they're here to represent.
Oh. That's good. Now I have a representative from ACE, I believe. Hi, how are you? Come on up to the table. That doesn't matter, whichever one you're comfortable with. And as long as you have something to say, that's it.
Should I introduce
I'm sorry.
Should I introduce myself?
Please.
I'm John King, I'm the student representative of ACE. On Friday, October 3rd, students at ACE attended a presentation by nationally known guest speaker, Mark Manila. Mr. Manila provided an excellent program for students who were very moved and inspired by his speech. The reflection cards completed by students at the end of the time, at the end of the presentation were all incredibly positive and powerful, and students clearly benefited from the presentations. We'd like to publicly thank Dr. Sell for arranging such a wonderful guest speaker for us. On October 8th, 9th, and 10th, students at ACE will embark upon their first outdoor education trip of the school year by exploring a coal mine in Pennsylvania, conducting a day-long hike on one of the nearby trails, and camping in a park where students will learn how to cook outdoors as a team and conduct trust-building activities and develop learning skills, or leadership skills. ACE is presently conducting their fall Yankee Candle fundraiser to assist in building funds into our student activity account, which will help to defer costs for additional outdoor education trips, field trips, and end-of-the-year activities. That's all pretty much for ACE.
John, thank you very much. Nice job. Thank you. All of you, nice job. And you don't have to stay. Okay? You can tell how. Thank you, Simon. Thank you. Have a good time, guys. Welcome to the table, Mr. Martinez.
All right, here's my
that the Board of Education approve the 2014-2015 school food service agreement with Head Start in accordance with 14-192.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Gladys Cooper? Are there any questions?
Yes. Just a question on, I see the rates that were posted. Is this program also under the free and reduced lunch? I mean, it's Head Start. I would imagine a number of students probably qualified for free and reduced lunch. I was wondering.
Yeah. Students that are eligible can apply through Head Start's program. This is, obviously, as the board knows, this extends our food service when we first service Head Start. We provide the labor, this is some of the reimbursements that are on the meals and other items that are covered.
Okay, so pretty much those who would find this difficult to meet would probably qualify for the program. That's
Correct.
Not that we're consistent over with.
Do we have any other questions? Seeing none? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Thank you. Kathy B.
That the Board of Education accept the superintendent's 2014-2015 goals and objectives in accordance with 14-193.
Second.
Thank you, Bob. Do we have any questions? No questions? Okay. Seeing none, I'll try your minds. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
Thank you.
Let me see.
No,
Okay. Now comes our long-awaited event of the evening. The superintendent's. No, there was no one saying. Sal said thank you. He's not allowed to abstain anyway. But now we get to hear from himself.
okay.
Go.
The October 1 enrollments, we're going to actually, Bill and Joe have been working on it, but I think ostensibly you'll see that our redistricting the pocket redistricting did disperse students on about the district. You know what it's done to transportation, but that was sort of expected in terms of moving youngsters around town. The greatest growth we're having is at the middle school, roughly about 135 students thereabouts. The high school is 5 or 6, so they're pretty stable. Pretty stable. We did not see a great number at two schools that we thought we would have some over at Mill Ridge Primary, particularly. The enrollments in August, when everyone got back, seemed to be, we were really worried that we would have enough room. In fact, Bill had to go down and create a sister school just in case. And as what happened to us 3 years ago at Shelter, they didn't show up. We may recall that same situation. We are the students over at Park. We have about 165 new students. Is that right? Thereabouts. 165 students there. We have about 70 students over at Shelter that are new with the additions. So with that said, I think we're pretty well staffed. We have unbalances in some of the schools in terms of numbers, but I thought it was best to keep the program moving forward enrollment-wise instead of pulling apart and moving teachers around. I just don't think it's right for the kids to do it at a late date. I believe that next year, though, if you look at the numbers, where we had 650, 710 kids per grade level, we're now 850, 900. So they're here moving up through the district. So that's why I'm anticipating a real impact with the high school coming up pretty soon. So, Bill, anything on your own?
I think Sal captured all the high points. The only issue that you may hear about as a board member is Shelter Rock. And as we've said all along with the enrollment numbers. They're very fluid. The state captures October 1 as the official date, but we'll still have kids coming and going all year long. So shelter has just had an uptick, and we've partnered them with Stanley Ruff as a sister school arrangement. So Mr. Serlich and Ms. Horn have been working back and forth to stabilize those numbers. So we feel very comfortable with where we are with that. And as Sal said, there are a couple of schools, if you would actually look at the enrollment numbers, they may seem a little bit low. Those are high-need schools, they're challenged, and we will keep them watched this year. We may shift some kids next year, move something around if we have to. But right now, we're starting to begin the process of developing stability. So I'd say by November 1st, if you're interested in another report like this, those will be the numbers we can pretty much bank on for the year.
Phyllis?
I'm just a little concerned about Broadview, especially the 6th grade. I had expected that to be lower because of the 3rd middle school, but it's only lower by 1 person. Do you know we moved it? We had a, I thought like, I'm a little concerned about that.
Yeah, we think, when you get more than 3 ads out there, that as we open up the next level in over at the west side, that'll take some students as well, because when it was 7th and 8th grade, we'll start drawing. When the gentleman we did not look at, nor did we recreate anything with the feeder school system for middle schools when we looked at the numbers. When we did the redistricting, we felt that would have a natural, it will just naturally balance. I think for a while you probably will see Broadview probably tinker again a little higher, 40, 50 kids. Probably next year after, we'll have to look at it again. Because we didn't redistrict any of the Broadview or the Rogers Park. We left that alone.
Correct.
Okay, so what you're telling me is that, I just want to make it clear, that's all. So for the 6th grade, on the global studies, at least 50 of those kids are Broadview kids?
I don't know that.
Yes.
There, we know now. Joe said yes.
There's 50 students in a sense, actually 100 students came out of the 6th grade. It would have been Broadview students that are now at Westside. You had 50 that went to global studies and 50 that went into STEM. So 100 students that would have been at Broadview that are now.
Okay, go ahead.
I was going to ask one of the same questions. About the middle school, before STEM was taken out of Rogers Park, we had about 1,200 students in Rogers Park and 1,200 in Broadview, correct?
Correct.
And that would be last year. So we took, and that 1,200 students from Rogers Park included 300 that were in the STEM program. So we took 300 off the bat from Rogers Park and now made it to 900 because we took those STEM kids and moved them into the new middle school. The 1,200 at Broadview, truly 1,200 that would have entered into the next school year, so to speak. I mean, I know you're shifting upgrade levels, but whatever. So we might have only reduced the Broadview numbers by possibly 100 because 6th grade was the only one that was opened up for STEM and global.
Correct.
Right, that's
So
Right.
I guess I'm a little, as of right now, is Rogers Park about a 900 number and Broadview about a 1,200?
No, it's 925.
1079.
And,
Page 34.
and Broadview is at 1079.
Okay, 1079 and
Right.
Rogers Park is what?
925.
Okay, thanks.
So as we go up, Phyllis, I mean, it's just, I think Broadview will be higher because of the catchment area. I guess one thing we could look at some point, if we want to look at it, is to move it around. But, you know, a 40-50 delta, I don't know if you want to do it for that many. We need to wait a year or so and see. We'll take 50 more out next year,
My
or 100
concern-
more, I should say.
My concern was, I wanted to make sure that at least the maximum number of kids who could have come out of Broadview to go to global studies did.
Oh, okay.
That was my concern, and the same thing
Yes.
for STEM, the maximum number that could have come out, came out.
I actually don't. Excuse me, no, it's
I'm
Rob's turn. I'm sorry.
I think I'm gonna ask the same question that Phil said. So you're saying, so next year, Joe, when they do the lottery to get into school, 50 are coming from Broadview, 50 are coming from Rogers Park?
50, correct.
Okay. I mean, that we're supposed to go into Rogers
Yeah.
Park, we're supposed to go into Broadview, is that?
Yeah, correct. And when we did the seat delegations, I believe there was one that was a little undersubscribed coming out of Broadview or Rogers and going out
It was
in
global
front of me.
studies.
But there was, I want to say it was like 55-45 between Rogers and Broadview, so it wasn't a clean 50-50.
So it'd actually be, there's gonna be how many more kids, 200 going in next
There'll be
year?
100 more going in. The seventh grade will have 100.
Okay, but
So
then there'll
50.
then there'll be another 100 going into STEM.
No, 50. No, 50 into 15 to global.
They go along
50 into global.
You're only going to reduce Broadview next year by 100 students. Because the kids that are, because the kids that are currently at the new middle school will just move up a grade level. So sixth grade will open up, and you will have 50 slots for global study, which means you're taking out 100 kids from Broadview if all 100 choose to go to the new school.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay, Sal needs to say something.
Well, I think we need to remember one of the things we all have to do is review the lot. Because I think inherently there are some issues that present itself. In saving seats for both schools, I don't know how we can do that. OCR, Club Civil Rights, has made some statements. We can't balance. So if does it happen serendipitously that we have 50-50? Our intent is to have a 50-50. But what we need to do is think through, do we actually isolate 50 seats for this catchment area and 50 seats for that, and see if we can do that, because then that will tell us, I'm sure we'll have enough kids apply. Now, whether they come, we offer them to come in, sometimes they don't. I mean, but at least we can do that. I think our balance was pretty close, but that's one thing we need to check with OCR, that we're permitted to do that. We were having problems with AIS with that, you may recall, and we asked if we could have permission to I guess the word is manipulate, so that it comes by zone. They said no, we're not able to do that. The question here, for balance, when we did this at Rogers Park, it was simple. Kids were at Rogers Park, and then we opened it up to the kids in the road and they came over. It wasn't, we knew what was going on there. This is a little different. So we need to check out with the lottery and then see if we can actually do a 50-50. But we can check the actual seats. Joe's been working with Frank, and he has probably got a handle on that.
Also, we are sounding, speaking already about new enrollment projection for the upcoming budget as well. We already spoke to Peter Prada about doing new enrollment projections going out additional years, so we can track that as it grows.
Yeah, we can.
I'll listen.
Yeah,
Because
come back.
I want to make sure that we do this before the budget starts, the season starts.
Yeah, we've already been in contact with Mr. Prada, and I have to just get him the data. I hope to do that.
What I'd like to do is just hold, not even hold, we're just asking for general consensus. I'm going to ask Joe to prepare a report for us for the next meeting, which better explains where everybody's coming from and where they are and what they're doing. It would just be more black and white in that sense. Could you mind doing that?
You can only see, when you see the seat splits.
Yeah, we can do this.
No, yeah. Did you, okay. Donuts, yeah, donuts, because,
Donuts?
so just donuts, yeah. Let's not call them donuts.
So what we'll try to do is get your numbers, the actual numbers at Westside from, they would have come to Rogers and how we can try to.
Yeah.
So you'll have an
That's
idea of
basically
the aggregate.
yeah.
You'll have an idea.
Well, no, let's see it, that's what I mean.
One more interesting fact, with the October 1 allowed us to do a disaggregation of the ethnicity. Let me just share this with you, this is fresh off the press. I shared with PTO here on Monday. Age in the district currently, we have about 7% of students, totaling about 761. We have unclassified 0.6%. White, we have 39.8%. Pacific Islander, 0.9%. Multiracial, 3.7%. Hispanic, 41.9%. African American, 7.9% of the district. So our largest, really, is one of the Hispanics at 41.9%, almost 42%. Whites almost 40%. So you can see that that's about 50-50 in the district. So that's, and our numbers for free and reduced lunch, has that been calculated?
54.
Is it at 54 as a district average? And then we have some, now that's moved up, 34,
Yeah, that was-
54, and we've had some schools at 80%, and some that are below, obviously, as well. So just give you an idea of,
54% is right. That is.
well, right now, I guess they did the calculation.
It was 51 and change last year.
I was gonna say,
It was
wasn't it 51?
54
Right.
this year, according to the Title I figures, and what Dr. Pasquarello was talking about 5 years ago, it was around 32, 33%. That's exponential growth, very unheard of. If I could add one other thing to the conversation about the Broadview and Rogers Park, there's a false positive here, because what we're not seeing, and we can certainly get this information, is how many new kids are actually coming in. So as you pick up the control group of kids and move them, it doesn't mean new kids won't come in, and we're growing. So that throws that whole calculation off.
And that's why I asked her to be more specific so that we can actually see it.
Right, I want to thank you, Dr. Sal, because I was under the assumption that the lottery would be 50% Rogers Park and 50% Broadview. I don't know why I was under that assumption.
That was our goal. I don't think I think that was our goal, but I don't, there's the numbers that apply.
Yeah, there wasn't applications to fill those seats out of, and I apologize, it was either Broadview or Rogers Park. We were short, I want to say, whatever those numbers were now.
It happened. So we'll get a report and take a look.
As from a parent's point of view, it sounds as if 50 slots were available to Rogers Park kids,
Right.
50 slots were available to Broadview. The 50 that were available to Broadview, maybe 51 applied and 4 chose not.
I understand that.
Yeah,
I
so
understand
then
that.
those seats got filled. I don't know if that's true. I'm giving us an example.
Yeah.
But we're going to find out.
We'll bring it back.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what we're doing next week. Okay.
So anyway, that's the profile of the district at this point.
Thank you very much, sir. Next on your agenda, Dr. Sal?
Okay.
Because I know that's not all we had.
No. We met with the commissioner last week, who you know is exiting. His last official date is January 7th, apparently. One of the things that we need to be concerned about is that part of the law right now are new graduation requirements, meaning that we're going to have to offer 25 credits to our seniors as they graduate. Currently, we have 21, and the board, about 4 years ago, I think did the right thing. We defined those 21s, basically having students, experiment a little more at the lower levels. We added then a little more refinement as it became juniors and seniors with electives. They all had to take 2 languages. We put the lab sciences in. We did some good things by not moving to 21, just redefining the 21. But the law says by 2020, we are to have, the current 7th grade students, 25 credits. Now, in talking to the commissioner, that he has not recommended going forward with that, but he no longer will be there. The way secondary education is going, we feel as though those credits are basically defining the Industrial Revolution. There's no real reason for putting them and aligning them the way they've asked us to align them. But if in fact it says as law, we're going to have a challenge. We're going to have a challenge for lab space, for sciences. We're going to have a challenge for the world languages and the electives. I mean, I'm not opposed to giving kids more. It's not, and our kids leave 28 credits, so it's not like we don't. But all kids don't get 28 credits. So we'll know more after the election and after they choose the new commission. But I just want to put that in the back of your head. One of the things that we're working on is a 3-year strategic budget, and you're going to see 2 footnotes in there. One of them is going to be graduation requirements may change, just because we have to figure out how we're going to handle it financially and physically as well up in high school. So that's, I just want to keep that on your radar. The next thing is, you may recall last year, I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry, Dr. Sanders. Dr. Sanders.
Just call me Tony.
I'm really having a bad flashback. Dr. Sanders, not really understanding this complete thing with graduation requirement. In there will be some of our students that's not going to make the top. Will be doing 5 years in high school. Am I right? Some of our seniors, if they don't come out on top with the different types of
Well, right now, right now, yeah, if they don't have enough to graduate, sure, they'll be 5th-year seniors. But our plan will permit them to have the experience of the 20, if it comes to fruition, 25 credits. You know, I think the board's been really helpful. The last 2 years, we've offered Sunday school. We've offered a lot of things to permit students to make up. We have repeat courses at the high school. If in fact they fail a semester, they don't have to wait a year to take them. They can take them second semester. So we've done some credit recovery at the senior level. I think we've taken some initiatives, but they'll be 5th-year seniors. In fact, the argument I had, we get along with the commission, but I keep arguing with them on some things. One, our 5th-year seniors are counted as dropouts. And they graduate. In the cities, really, a lot of things happen in the lives of urban students. They have inconsistent time when they're at school for a lot of reasons. So we're trying to have them look at the 5th-year number in a little different way, because it really adds to the dropout. It also doesn't count dropout students that now go to adult ed. Our teachers have to be certified in adult ed, they're taking a prescriptive curriculum, and they're still counted as a dropout, not as a high school student. Students that are in special education who stay with us until they're 21 are counted as a dropout. Inappropriate. So we're trying to look at those things. So when they go to 25, it's going to exacerbate some of those challenges, no question.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay.
Anybody else have questions for Dr. Shaw? No.
Kim,
Yeah.
you got the next set.
So you might remember in the spring of this past year, the Connecticut Council for Education Reform, CCER, was the group that came in, and they had been looking for some months at our IT folks, and they came and made a presentation to you all about what they found and some recommendations. So I've been working with their reports, looking through to see how we can affect some change, and I think the reason why we really brought them in is because as we now are in our 3rd year of Power School, we're all starting to get the swing of it, and we're now moving into using, I like to say, more of the empty rooms of the building. So we're trying to really enhance the way that we use Power School. And our IT group had been structured kind of to get us over the hump of installation and implementation, and that was really the first phase. And so now we're looking at kind of refining how we have those folks organized and what it is they do. So Dr. Salad asked me to look at the structure of organization. We're not adding any new people, but we're going to kind of redeploy a little bit some of the functions that they do. And it's to deal with really 2 big concerns that were raised by the CCER report. One was a lack of centralized leadership, that we've had people kind of deployed all over to get us up and running. And now we really need to have some centralized leadership of that group. And the other was a lack of clear reporting and supervisory responsibility. And again, kind of coming from the same problem. So what we're going to do now is we're really trying to take the 4 folks that we have full-time in the IT department, the kind of on-the-ground folks, the people who really work the hardest, and we're looking at functions for them. So we're looking at kind of help desk responsibilities, and we're really looking at district-wide query writing, pulling data out of the system, and being able to support Carol Wanzer and the work that she's doing. So Dr. Sassman to kind of give you an update on where we were and what that was going to look like. And again, it's not going to require adding anybody new, but it's repurposing a little bit the folks we have, and been working with the the Secretaries Union, where the IT folks are embedded largely, and talking with them about what that's going to look like. But I think it's going to make us a little bit better able to serve the capacity needs of the district. It's also giving us kind of some backup and crossover training that we haven't had before. And again, with the idea being that at some day, we're going to continue to grow this department and we're going to continue to add folks. And we want to make sure that everybody's serving a clear purpose role, but also is cross-training each other with some of the more technical stuff that we're doing in Power School. So I think we're moving in a great direction, and I'm hopeful we'll have everybody kind of in their roles and responsibilities in the next couple of weeks.
Thank you.
That's all, folks.
That's it. That's all. Thank you very much, that was a lot.
Can I suggest something? If we're going to look at the enrollment, the lottery, how about I have Dr. LeBlanc do a little presentation on the school and the kids, what they're doing and the numbers?
Sure.
Would you like to do that?
Sure.
Is
As
that
long
all
as we
right?
do the report so everybody knows where it's.
Yeah, no, we'll do the report, but we'll have more of a context. You can talk about the nurses. I think that'd be kind of, okay.
I think that would be true.
All right, we'll do that.
Then I'd rather listen about the demonstration anytime.
Yeah.
Okay, for information in your packets, we have the field trip to Canada, which is very nice. Does anybody have any questions?
Yes.
What is it about?
I was just wondering, under the days missing from school, and there was nothing there, you knew what the question was.
Onto the table.
Right? But you know how I feel about that. So is there any time that will be on either one of the field trips? Well, there's a blank on that one, that's why I was wondering.
I don't think it was any wonderful skills.
Do you want yes, please come. Somebody come to the table and answer the questions. I'm sorry.
My colleague.
Elaine, don't worry about that because it's all because of the feedback, so just speak a little louder.
I can do that. I'd like to present Leah Owen, my colleague, a French teacher at Danbury High School, and I asked her to come up, but anyway. Will we be missing any school days, Bob? Well, Quebec, I believe the day that we leave might be a professional development. So the students will not be missing, but we will. As far as the trip to France, EF, just like the other trips that are using EF at the high school, they fluctuate as far as the dates, depending on the availability of flights. So can I say, will they miss? Possibly, not definitely. Because 1 month in advance, they'll tell us we're leaving on, by the way, I told those dates for France, those are not the right dates, and I told Debbie Warner.
What are the correct dates?
Oh, you got that? Okay. EF might tell me 3 weeks prior, okay, you have to take a flight that day because the other flight was canceled, so forth. So France, possibly. Canada, no.
Canada's President's Day weekend.
Oh,
So we're good there.
okay.
And then I'm just here, 17th, 25th, is that incorrect?
No, that's incorrect. We leave
So what
on
are the right dates?
I think the 12th.
12th through,
Oh, that should be stated on there.
is it on the form?
On the form, you have the 10th and the 19th. What do you,
Which
For the one to Paris.
is you're departing on the 10th and you're coming back on the 19th.
Okay. And that's subject to change. That could be 11th through to the 20th again.
Okay.
And we have no control over that. That's strictly with the airlines.
Sure, okay. All right, so
That's the week.
that's the week, that's our spring break.
The spring break.
Right.
Yeah, spring break. So I think the efforts of just trying to do it around the vacation here.
Right.
Minimize it.
Okay. All right, thank you very much. All right. Anybody else? There's no other questions? Okay, good.
Thank you again.
Well, Gladys, I'm sorry, Mrs. Cooper has a question.
It's not so much a question, it's sort of a comment, and I don't know how this is the right way to do it. But we have did this, and you've been on the board almost as long as I have. And each year they bring this information to us. Because somehow, and we trust our people, and we knew at one time when the trips was going on and there was wars going on, and we stopped it. I would like for us to move to the next level, as not as for having our people come and sit and we vote on this. is there any way we could take this back to committee? Let them, it'll be on the agenda. And, we have any specific questions, we can direct those questions to them and not.
I might be misunderstanding you. I believe that it will be on our next agenda for a vote.
Yeah, but no, what I'm saying, instead of every year, we did this year after year after year after year, and they come. And I think we should be at a level now that we trust them. And if something changed and we have something really specific, to ask them, we can do that. And they don't have to give up their time to come to the board. And I think we should be a little bit, and I know we have new people on the board, but they've been coming 20 some odd years. And, and should we go, that was my only concern. I think we need to move to the next level.
We could put it on as information, and you wouldn't have to comment. If something comes up tonight, I can get back to the board for approval. So if you have to come back, fine. If not, then you would just hit the approval. That would work too, right?
Yes, we've been asking the same question for the last 15 years.
Okay. Again, just because I'm a little dense, I'm sorry, Ralph, I was speaking, so I decided I couldn't hear you. But
No.
We have to come so Bob can, they have to come so Bob can ask if it's during school time. And
I object to the way that was phrased. I want you to understand
I know why
that I really feel we have top-notch teachers going on the trip. And I'm thinking if it's a full school day, that all the other kids that teacher would be teaching is now under a sub. Okay? And so I want it minimized. And I think that I have nothing against trips during the vacation time. If we're during school time, I'd probably have something about the financial cost and the number of students involved. But if it's on vacation time, I've finally been won over to the idea that, okay, it's a vacation. So it's a great opportunity for the kids who can go. Okay, but I take that very seriously.
Okay.
When I bring this up.
You know that.
Okay, but no, it sounded like you
I don't mean to.
Okay, sorry.
I'm very comfortable if other board members, and I know we have new board members, it's up, the board make the decision. I just think that we need to move to the next level and say to our people that, if it's going to be something that we disagree with them, then we have them come before us or whatever. And, it's up to the board. I'm sorry I opened a can of worms.
Okay, and I would like to apologize to Bob for you taking it as a disrespect. I didn't mean it that way.
Okay.
I was just actually joking.
Oh, you're joking, right? I take that very seriously.
No, I want to, because it's what it is. I mean, because personally, my complaint about the whole thing is I want to go to France. Okay. So I think it should be my benefit to go. Don't you, everybody agree? Let's vote on that. No, all right, never mind. Okay, moving along. Thank you, and thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And if you need somebody else to go, I'm volunteering.
But Madam Chairman, could we have a clarification? Dr. Sayre gave a good example. So will you do that?
Yeah, I'll do
Okay,
that.
thank you.
They won't comment if there's some questions. I'll get back to that.
Well, let's be kind to them.
Yeah, my question was that.
I can do that.
Maybe they want to come. Maybe
Thank
they'd
you.
like to. Maybe they
And if
want
you
to.
like to come, you can always come. That's right. Thank you.
Maybe part of this they want to see if we can get rid of more people. Bye, Kathy.
Yeah, that's true too.
This is the part of their program. Oh, see how, this is fabulous, everybody left. This is great. Are you leaving too, sir? I mean, I don't want to put pressure on you. No, you can go, please go. I would if I could. Go ahead.
Especially right now.
All right, let's really. All right, moving on.
Report.
Oh, it's my report. Okay, so my report was to tell you to please go to this Meet the Candidates night. All right, that's a very important thing. My report is also to ask, did you guys go to another school?
We did.
Where'd you go?
Denver High.
Oh my God, excellent. So
Want to say anything? Okay.
Okay.
there's nobody here but us.
Yeah, no, we went on.
Deb's one of us.
We went on Monday, Michael and I, and we,
Oh, right, where I go.
Gary took us around. And I mean, Michael obviously knows the school. I was just,
Like 2 years ago. Oh,
yes. We just graduated last week.
Yeah.
But it was great. I was a little overwhelmed, and I think
You were overwhelmed?
I was overwhelmed because it's such a great, we went there, we got to see them in the lunchroom and, switching classes. Yeah, I was out of breath by the time I walked the whole property there, man. I was sweating, but, I really think that that's the crown jewel in this district. And I really didn't understand that until, we're walking by and he goes, oh, we offer this program, and we have this, and we have that, and oh, we have this.
I wish I could have that.
Yeah. And I'm like, wait a second. I had a couple, and Mike will tell you a couple don't things, like, wait a second, you need this? Really? And I think, very, very clean. And I know they didn't just do that because we were coming. But very clean, very well managed. And what we noticed at Broadview is, and I think Mike will agree, is kids are happy. They're happy, and that is, and in my opinion, the best place for real life experience as far as the different cultures and different, and it's just, I don't know, I was very impressed. Like I said, I think, great, and it's old building, with good condition. I think there's some things we need to look at, kind of just maybe speak or spruce up a little bit, but it's nice to have the time for that.
Right, thank you.
But a great experience, and we're doing, next Tuesday, we're doing Stanley Ruff, Haystown, Pembroke, one day.
Wow.
And we got a couple.
You guys are on a roll.
Well, and they're happy to have us. Gary invited us back anytime. Invite us to the homecoming dance.
I agree with what you said about Danbury High School.
You guys are good human, man.
To me,
I'll be there actually that day.
It's a masquerade party.
It goes extra.
thank you.
But no, it's just overall really impressive, and I think because the size of the school, sometimes it gets a little bad rap. But I'll stand on top of the hill and scream that that's the best
Oh
school.
my God, you have no idea. And the best part of it is I used to go to the city, New York, the city to me, and go to Central Park and hang out and watch the people, because it was like I like to watch people. And ever since I first walked into Danbury High School, it is not creepy. Ever since I've been to Danbury High School, I have no need to go to the city anymore. I just go out in the hallways.
Well, Danbury's a city too.
Well, but you don't think of it that way.
No,
because it has a. To me, it has a hometown feel, but and it's not literally my hometown. It's where I live right now, but and it is different than other cities our size. But the high school, my other high school, is the pinnacle of the district. I mean, we talk about all our other schools, the processing the processing at Danbury High School of the young adults and the Renaissance education that's offered to them, all right, it's unbelievable. And the management right now is fabulous, and we're on a roll, guys. So let's go.
You want to add anything to that?
Oh yeah, cover it, Mike.
No, I think,
Michael's going to talk.
well, I'm not going to vote no.
You're an alumni.
No, it's funny. It's like you said. We walk in and it's like I'm home. This is where it's just phenomenal. I'm wowed every time. Just from when I was there as a student, the opportunities that are there, and then to go back and just see it all over again, and the new things that have been there, since I've been. So just a great opportunity and great school. No doubt about it. I think I said we were just about to start walking around, and I said to Ralph and Mr. Bacaccia, I'm like, this is the best high school in the state of Connecticut, and I don't care what any numbers say. The opportunities here, you'll find in no other high school.
I think we had that conversation graduation.
I think we did. Yeah, we were walking down.
Without home, it's like when you see the people and the generations of people there to watch the graduates. It's like home.
It really unites the whole city.
It really does. Dr. Wells.
Just, you folks never really get feedback this way. principals are members of my team, as you know, and this has had a really good effect on them. And very, very positive. I was over in Easttown with Stephanie, and she's all excited about this idea. I talked to Gary yesterday about your visit, and he was very thumbs up. And he described it as you said. I think Michael came with new eyes, and he saw what he saw before, and then he saw the new stuff. And Ralph was really just impressed with the size and the scope of it and the diversity. So the funny part was I asked Gary what he thought the two of you were most impressed with, and he said, probably the quietness of the cafeteria compared to the elementary schools. Very, very well run.
Yeah, you didn't see like really, I don't want to take up much more time, but you really didn't see like, I'm going back to my high school days, and you know, our cafeteria was chaos, like all the time. You didn't see any like jumping around, like any play, messing around and pushing or anything like that. It was just kind of, it was a good experience all the way around. That's all.
That's excellent. Does anybody else have anything they want to add to my report, to some things that you've all done with that meetings?
Well, it's citywide, I just,
yeah.
2 seconds on that, all right?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, we had the citywide PTO meeting.
This is our time.
We did it at Park Avenue, because I think we're first 4 or 5 meetings we're going to bounce around to a couple of the schools and with the additions, and people were just, I think they start to feel they see new stuff, and we got a lot of wows that night. A lot of wow, this looks good. Wow, I remember when this was here. I remember there was stuff here. So there's a positive. The people that do come out for like citywide, I mean, wish it was a lot bigger than it is, but the people that do come out do like really when they learn something, they're really wow about it. So that's what I kind of got from that meeting. But and not just I'll touch on some enrollment stuff and stuff like that, but nothing really.
Talked about the video thing too.
Yeah, we did talk about the video. We did talk about the video. Sal brought that up about the video, the YouTube thing, and took a consensus of the parents there. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
Oh, I have it.
Yeah. All right. That's all right. The next part of my superintendent. What am I? I'm chairperson. Okay. I just passed out the program for the convention at a glance, for the paid convention, Cape Caps convention. Are you the superintendent of the year?
Me?
Oh, it says there.
Only my mother's heart.
Since we're on a roll, and in my heart, so we voted you superintendent of the year.
It's the combined superintendents and the board of state.
Okay. All right, so this is not just for the benefit of the new people, because there are people here that have never attended that have been on the board for a couple of years. I used to go every year, and then I stopped going every year for whatever reason. It had something to do with money in the city.
Was it called a recession?
Oh, right, that you said. I couldn't remember what it was. Yeah, okay. When you get older, you forget nasty words. I recommend, okay, I'm going to be the sage now person. I recommend that you attend. You don't have to go to all 2 days. You can pick and choose. I mean, Friday night is just stuff, people talking. And student performances, which makes it worthwhile. But there are no damn great student performance, so why would we go? The workshops, you can pick and choose. I've learned a lot of stuff. What I'm trying to tell you is there are things that you learn. They run seminars. I mean, not everybody's crazy about CAVE and for different reasons. But what I'll tell you is it's not a waste of time. All right? It's not a party either, because it's work. But there are questions that I've had answered that nobody here was able to answer, but these people answered at the different seminars that I've attended. And I recommend anybody go. As to how much our financial responsibility is, does anybody here be able to tell us?
I think it's like $500.
Not personally, out of our own pocket.
Oh, no. If
okay.
you go, sure, we'll have, there's a travel allowance. And it depends if you stay overnight, if you don't.
Now, if you stay overnight, the city used to pick up the tab for our staying overnight. Does that still apply?
We don't stay overnight.
We have.
Unless you go in Arizona.
Yeah.
Let's talk about
Okay, whoa, Jackson, I'm not going to drive it back and forth to Michigan.
Where'd that come from? Where did that come from? No, we don't stay overnight. What I do is I usually go on Friday, I drive there. And then some board members have been going on Friday and some will go on Saturday. A few years ago, I think one or two members did stay one night. We haven't done that for a while.
We just stayed over. Okay. Okay. We'll talk about it another time. That's the end of my conversation. If you want to ask questions, email. Got it? One at a time, though. All right? Not everybody all at one time. All right, and that concludes my speaking for the evening. Thank God. Moving right forward. Are we okay? All right, we have a Sites and Facilities update meeting. We all have this in our packets. Yes, we do. We all have this in our packets, so Joe, if you could do it.
We don't have to do it.
It's in the packet, so if you have any questions, just give a call and we'll answer them. All right?
Very well done.
All right.
I did want to say to the board that I kind of expect that for 2020 we'll be convening. I think the architects have come back. I don't know. I keep asking the question, but they've, the architect tested some of his scenarios, and I think they'll be able to come back to us and start talking about what might work up there at the high school for us. And Joe, do you have any indication when that would be? Maybe
2020, no, I've heard no more.
Okay. So maybe we could find out from Fareed if he has a time for this.
He was at the, I just saw him this afternoon at the swearing in of the new fire chief. Magnet School, nobody has anything to report. Education manager is not here. DSABC, Mr. Ferguson.
Nothing.
Nothing new there. Citywide PTO we heard from. Oral, okay, Phyllis, I'm on the oral health and the school-based health.
I don't hear anything.
That's what I mean. I just put phone calls in to find out when the meetings are. Alrighty? So there's someone we'll be getting into. Right?
Someone will be interested?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. TDEC, Michael, do you have anything?
I just found out they meet tomorrow.
Okay, great.
It was news to me.
I'm not going to.
I wasn't at the last one. There hasn't been a meeting since, I don't think.
But they didn't set a date.
Now, here's the question I've been waiting to ask you, Ricky. Are we ready? Is there any executive session?
Could I,
Okay, yes, go.
you want to do an evaluation committee? Roughly, the committee meets to meet, and there's a tentative date of October the 29th at 6:30. Please let Debbie know if you can attend. It's very important. And the other two, we won't be going about Wednesday.
I guess so.
So the policy meeting is also going to be called, we will hear the policy, so we can address the YouTube question and finances under control.
Libby, can I state what's going on with that, just so you have the policy,
Go.
and we have a committee that's looking at the regs. The policy is that the regs are the things that are, I'm saying the regs, and so why don't you let them do the work? You're gonna ask the parents, you're gonna talk to the red masses, they're gonna update the stuff, because the policy was adopted 02, but it's pretty general, but the regs are doing all the defining. And then if there's gonna be a policy change, we can let you know.
I think this is one of those examples where we just haven't caught up with technology.
Yeah,
It just goes so quickly that,
YouTube is out there and it's fun. We just haven't caught up.
Right, we just don't want to discuss that. Okay, I hate to say this. I mean, I don't hate to say this. I'm like really excited. Do I get a statue or something for this, or a plaque?
Shut up so we can look.
I'm sorry, can we say it out loud? I yelled at the calling from Jackson Brown. All right, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion that we adjourn the meeting.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah, Bill.
And you're welcome, everybody. You're welcome.